And inside Marshall Gymnasium, McManus Student Center, the site of tonight's Midway basketball contest, as it is the Midway women set to take on the Miami University Middletown School of Thunderhawks is their mascot. As starting lineups being introduced now, we have just wrapped up our national anthem, and this is a short rostered Miami University Middletown team, as only bringing in 7 players here to this contest tonight. And we'll get you those starting lineups here in just a moment. We'll go ahead and get these Midway starters real quick for you. By the way, Justin Kalen on the call for you. Miami of Middletown, 1-2 on the season. Midway 2-2 on the season, as they have got off to a good start. Aside from the Val Weinstein Invitational. We'll touch more on that here in just a bit, as the third Midway starter being announced now. That's Cassidy Doherty. She's a familiar face. A lot of familiar faces on this Midway team this season, as she's followed up McIntyre, who is a 6'1 junior. She has had some big games this season. We'll touch on that as this one goes along. And starters for your Midway University Eagles: Jermira Christian, a 5'3 sophomore from Lexington, Kentucky, familiar name. You've got Alyrica Hughes, who is a freshman, 5'7 out of Owensboro, Kentucky. She will start alongside Cassidy Doherty, who I mentioned. Doherty, a 5'7 senior, as the first shot of the game taken by Taryn Dewberry misses. And now a takeaway by Alyrica Hughes. Trinity Johnson, a 5'9 junior from Columbus, Ohio, wearing number 22, will start. The final starter for Midway is number 33, another familiar name, J.C. Chesser, a 6'1 junior out of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, as the early score there for Alyrica Hughes. And an and one opportunity. By the way, Alyrica Hughes this season, double-double in points in every game this year, as she notches her first 3 here. Expects to be a big piece of this Midway basketball roster. A lot of turnover for these Eagles, as they have 7 players that departed, 9 returning players, and 10 newcomers as well. So it's a big roster. Look at that Midway bench to your right versus the Miami University Middletown bench off to your left. By the way, coach of the Thunderhawks, Jalen Bean Haseker, in her first season. Twin sister Braylon helping her in the coaching duties this season, as Doherty's 3 up and in. So you've got the twin combo in terms of the coaches, Braylon and Jalen, as Christian on the steal. She'll get fouled. Family connections don't stop there, as Sam Bean, number 13, out on the floor for the Thunderhawks, the little sister of Braylon and Jalen. As Christian set for her free throws, gets the first one to fall through. Couple of big departures for this Midway team, as Christian's second free throw also up and in. Of course, I mentioned Jermira Christian, Cassidy Doherty, Trinity Johnson. You've got Lauren Walton, J.C. Chesser, Aaliyah Arlinghouse, Atlantis White. Those are the returners for Midway. The departures, Jaden Douthit, who had a very good year last year for the Eagles. Serenity Webb as well. Transferred away to Thomas More. Alyssa Hitch transferring to Spalding. Bree Howard, Emily Eggleston, Emily Gomez, and Zeta Villanueva, the departing Eagles. And every newcomer, I mentioned 10 of them, all freshmen for Midway this season. We're going to get the second foul call against Midway here. That one's going to go against Cassidy Doherty. Eagles in gold. Miami-Middletown in blue. As over the top with it to Jovi Studebaker, and she can't make the shot. As Christian clears the rebound. And then she is promptly, I'm going to say she traveled there. Looked like she ran right into her teammate, Trinity Johnson, and lost the handle on it. This one inbounded to Studebaker. Now on top, Dewberry slides it to her left. Sam Bean on the three, got it. Say Miami-Middletown team, to be quite frank with you, has not been playing good basketball through their first 3 games, just averaging 58 points per game. As there you see Chesser down low going to work for the bucket. But outside of their 58 that they're scoring, they're also allowing 70 and allowing 45 rebounds a game, 16.7 of those coming via the offensive glass. So far from ideal, as not sure what's going on here. Sam Bean on the left side of the court. With just over 8 minutes to play here in this first quarter. By the way, Midway in their first game this season, and their second for that matter, 2 big wins. As they got it done 86-59 versus Kentucky Christian, and then won 100-69 versus Cincinnati Claremont. Before an 0-2 performance in the Val Weinstein Classic at Grace College, where they fell 93-63 versus Grace. And then lost 85-80 versus Spring Arbor, a school out of Michigan. By the way, in that game versus Spring Arbor, Lyrica Hughes, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. In the 2 games at the Val Weinstein Classic, averaging 10 rebounds. So the freshman has made her presence known. As I mentioned, double-digit scoring in every game this season. Head coach Kylie Gorby in her second season at the helm for the Eagles. Didn't dive very deeply on Miami-Middletown in our pregame, but they've got a couple of players really making some noise. Goddess McIntyre is really the straw that stirs their drink, as she is putting up 19.3 points per game, 15.3 rebounds per game. Taryn Dewberry, despite missing the last game, putting up 17.5 points per game and averaging 7 rebounds a contest. Jovi Studebaker, almost 7 points a game, 3 rebounds. Amani Mansour also 7 points, just over 3 rebounds. Carly McMonagle, one of their big players inside, pulling down almost 11 rebounds a contest. And Sam Bean, the younger sister of head coach Jalen Bean. Bean Haysecker, I should say, averaging almost 11 points a game. As Sam Bean is what caused this stoppage here. As they're doing a little cleanup on the floor. She's still over on the left side of the Miami-Middletown bench, and goes without saying, with just 7 rostered players, can't afford to lose one if you're the Thunderhawks. It's a lot of minutes. As the cleanup process will continue here. Justin Kalen on the call for you tonight. Marshall Gymnasium inside the McManus Student Center here at Midway University. Dylan Brown down there doing the hard work. Shout out Dylan. As the Thunderhawk team will come over, check out his work. They seem satisfied. Now he'll call over the Eagles as well to inspect his work. Trinity Johnson approves, and we are set to resume here. Midway 10. Miami University Middletown 3 with 8:08 to play here in this first quarter. Four different scorers thus far for Midway. You've got Lyrica Hughes and Cassidy Doherty with 3. J.C. Chesser and Jamira Christian with 2 apiece. As now Miami University Middleton with it coming up the floor. That's Jovi Studebaker going all the way. McIntyre on the rebound. And Trinity Johnson going to clear it. Now quickly up for Doherty. Doherty, one of the best three-point shooters in Midway women's basketball history. She was an all-conference selection coming into the year. As here she is with it on top. Thought about going inside. Now slides it over to Hughes. Hughes on the step back. Will get it off to Christian. She drives in, gets it swatted away. McIntyre sends it out of there. By the way, I mentioned how good Midway has been at home, averaging 93 points. Allowing just 64 through 2 games, so winning games by an average of 29 points. And in those 2 games, a total of 56 turnovers. And there's one there for the Thunderhawks. Miscommunication as Trinity Johnson sets to get the ball inbounds. Now she does for Christian. She'll go over the top. Doherty, a good look. Clinks off the left edge of the rim. And a foul here called on Hughes. Inbounding for Mansour. One of the 2 non-starters for the Thunderhawks. Now it's McIntyre with it. Back to Mansour. Step back 3. Misses everything as Christian clears the rebound. And she'll be aggressive with it. Take it all the way to the hoop for her second bucket of the contest. Now a takeaway by Hughes as she gets bumped at the rim. And I didn't hear the whistle, but they did blow it. So another 3-point play opportunity for the freshman. Midway already leading 14-3. And she'll convert. By the way, last time these 2 teams met was in 2016. A game won by Midway 96-75 as they shot 40% from 3. And they also held a 52-34 rebounding advantage in that contest. Thunderhawks now with McIntyre. Her 3 no good. Doherty clears the rebound. Hughes with it now. Leaves it off Christian. Gets a screen from Chesser. Now Doherty, Johnson with it on top. Over to Hughes, good aggressive drive, takes the bump, gets her own rebound off the miss. Now Christian, her three, clanks off the left iron, and the Thunderhawks clear the rebound. Midway 15-3 leading. Studebaker loses it. Taken away by Johnson, who gets it up for Doherty. Good thread the needle pass by Doherty to Chesser, but a little ahead of her. As Chesser had to run it down, just saved it in bounds. And now Mansour's shot blocked away by Christian, and she loses it off of her knee. And with 4:53 left here in this first quarter, we are going to get a timeout. Midway 15, Miami University Middletown Thunderhawks 3. Great start for your Eagles. As we'll step aside for a break here as well. Come back, we'll continue the action here in the first quarter of back here inside the McManus Student Center, Marshall Gymnasium. The site of tonight's women's basketball contest. Justin Kalen on the call for you. And a great start for your Midway Eagles as they lead 15-3. We're halfway through this first quarter of play. Jermira Christian leading the way with 4 points. Well, now she's leading the way with her 6th point because Alerica Hughes also with 6 points thus far. Cassidy Doherty with 3, J.C. Chesser with 2, so several contributions thus far for your Eagles. It's now Miami University Middletown back in possession. There's Akira Muhammad on top now for Carly McMonigal. Back with Amani Mansour. She gets trapped, gets it off for Studebaker, whose 3 goes well long, and Christian clears yet another rebound. A new player in the game for Midway. As that is number 32, Taryn Morris, a 5'8 freshman out of Louisville, Kentucky, as the 3 here for Hughes drops through. And she's got 9 thus far, so just 1 point away from her 5th consecutive double-digit scoring try here to begin this 2024 season as the drive by McMonigal wayward. Kiera Couch, a 5'9 freshman from Whitesburg, Kentucky, also in the game, and Taryn Morris goes to the bucket and scoops it in. Goddess McIntyre driving in for the Thunderhawks, and that's a good aggressive take as she gets her first bucket of the ball game. Mentioned McIntyre averaging over 19 points a game. Kicking this one out, Christian slicing and dicing, and she'll get another one to fall. 24-5. Dominant start in this game for the Eagles. As Mansour driving in, good defense there by Couch. Alters the shot, grabs the rebound, now back with Alerica Hughes. On top, Christian, her 3, long again. It goes off the left iron. By the way, Sam Bean for Miami University Middletown still on the bench. However, all the way down at the end, and now she's going to go talk to her older sister, see what's going on here. Perhaps letting them know, I'm good to go. Get me back in. Cool dynamic when you've got twin sisters at the helm. A younger sister on the team. Very much a family affair here. Studebaker misses her first free throw. Now she slides off to her left and misses the second one as well, but McMonigal tracks down the rebound. Now Mansour on top of the key. Slides it over to Muhammad. Back to Mansour. Back to Muhammad. They'll begin a little two-man game here. Getting it inside for McIntyre. Back with McIntyre, who's double-teamed, loses possession, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Got the Anderson County girls basketball programs in the stands below us off to the left. As on top of the key with it, that was Morris. Forcing up the shot. She misses, but Atlantis White comes away with a rebound. Now ball in the hands of Aaliyah Arlinghouse. Transferred in here to Midway last season. Now in the hands of Maddie Nipper, a freshman. And she's going to turn it over. Miscommunication there between her and Atlantis White. Just over a minute left here in this first quarter of play, and we are going to get another timeout taken here with a minute 12 remaining. And it remains a good start for Midway, 24-5. They lead up on the scoreboard. Mentioned this is a Miami-Middletown team scoring just 58 points per game. But well under that pace thus far tonight, thanks to the stingy Midway defense. Making life really tough on the Thunderhawks. And their short bench doesn't make it any easier on them either. Came into this game with just 7 players. Now, with one of them getting sick mid-game, potentially down to just 6. So we'll see if Sam Bean's able to get back in the game. She was one of these starters tonight for the Thunderhawks. And the way she just put her elbow in the huddle, I don't know if that's a good sign. If it's a player who's healthy, you throw your hand in there. She is down in some water over there on the sidelines, potentially trying to rectify whatever's wrong so she can get back in this game. As here we go, back in play with just over a minute to go. Taryn Dewberry, she's going to turn it over. Pass too hot for McMonigal. Now up, Atlantis White drives in, and she'll draw the foul. Atlantis White, one of the returners for these Eagles. To the free throw line for a pair where she knocks down the first. Gets the second as well, so Atlantis White now with 2 points, the 6th different Eagle to find the scoring column as turnover here. As that pass a little too long for Akira Muhammad goes out of bounds. And back to Midway it goes. They lead 26-5. Ball inbounded for the freshman Maddie Nipper, 5'5" out of Charleston, West Virginia. 3 on top, good by White. That was Charlestown, West Virginia, not Charleston, for Maddie Nipper. Down to 34 seconds left. We're going to get a foul called here. 5th of the quarter on Midway. First on Aaliyah Arlinghouse. That's going to send Taryn Dewberry to the line. Dewberry, 17.5 points per game this season. As the first one rims out. Dewberry, one more try here. And this time good, as she's got her first point of the ball game. Nine to 6, under 30 to play here in this first quarter. As Arlinghouse in possession with it now. Being hounded by Mansour. She drives off to her right. Now kicking it out for the three. Morris no good. Now down to 2, down to 1, and they're not going to get a shot off, as that'll bring us to the end of quarter number 1. Perfect start for your Midway Eagles as they lead 29 to 6 after 1 quarter of play. We'll step aside for the quarter break as well. Come back on the other side. We'll see how it goes in second quarter of play. Stick with us. You're watching women's basketball here from inside Marshall Gymnasium. Start of quarter number 2 here from Midway University. 29 to 6, Eagles leading after 1, as it was a great start for them, and it'll continue here to begin this second quarter as Aaliyah Arlinghouse driving in and floating one up and in. Now on the other side, McIntyre on the miss. Great first quarter for Midway. 10 of 15 from the field, 3 of 7 from deep, and 6 of 6 from the line. Pretty efficient first quarter. Outscored Miami 14 to 2 in the paint. In the corner here for McMonigal. Now Studebaker. To Muhammad, on top now McIntyre, down to 3 on the shot clock as Dewberry's just got to force one up and she misses. By the way, just 16% in that first quarter for the Thunderhawks. 25% from 3, 25% from the line, which isn't all that lower than their season average, to be honest with you. It's contact down low as Maddie Nipper driving down in. Draws the contact, so a couple free throws upcoming for her. Goddess McIntyre the guilty party. Nipper's first free throw, no good. She'll get one more try here to try to make this a 32-6 ball game. And that one comes up short as well. Eagles by 25, a near steal there by Nipper. Annabelle Babb in the game as well now for Midway. 5'8" freshman from Guston, Kentucky. As here she is with the basketball, passes it out. Lauren Walton, one of the returning players. Her shot misses, but the offensive rebound. Walton will hoist again, this time connecting. Well done there by Jenna Phelps, keeping possession alive with the offensive rebound. And now it's a 34-6 ball game as Dewberry on the stop and pop. Can rebound it cleanly. Can McIntyre. Dewberry off to McIntyre. Her two no good. And Phelps another rebound. Here's Nipper coming up the floor. Leaves it off for Walton. Back to Nipper. Kicks it off. Arlinghouse, good athletic drive. And can't get the shot to fall, but the offensive rebound kept alive. Now out for Nipper. Threads the needle for Phelps. And I think they're going to call a kicked ball here. Good job there by the freshman, Annabelle Babb, keeping possession alive. Nipper set to inbounds here. Gets it in for Phelps, who drives around McIntyre, but can't get the shot to fall as Dewberry's going to clear the rebound. Dewberry, a full head of steam all the way to the bucket with the and one. Good aggressive drive there. For a three-point play here. Dewberry trying to catch her breath. Sam Bean remains on the end of the Thunderhawks bench. And Dewberry converts on the three-point play, so give her 4 now. As it's now a 34-9 ball game. Walton on top for Nora Miller, newly in the game. Another freshman for Midway. Miller, a 5'8" freshman from Evansville, Indiana. Under 7 to play here in this first half. Dewberry, stop and pop left short. And out of bounds it goes. It's a young Midway team, but at the same time got a lot of experience as well. Number of players that have been on this team for 2-3 years now. As Walton will fire the three. She's one of those important experienced players. Dewberry drives in and another and one opportunity. As this time she took the contact, just kind of threw the ball up towards the rim and was able to get it to fall. Dewberry now with 6 points. Chance to add on her 7th here As Lyrica Hughes back in the game, as is Myra Christian. On for the first time comes the freshman, 5'6" from Akron, Kentucky, Paige Medley. Dewberry's three-point play converted again. As Akira Muhammad back in the game, Jovi Studebaker will head to the Thunderhawks sideline. As Christian brings it across the timeline, trying to drive in on Dewberry. And kicks it out for Medley, and Medley traveled before she was able to drive inside with it. To 6 was our score after one. As it's actually the Thunderhawks outscoring Midway thus far here in this second quarter, 6-5. I have a feeling that's going to change as Lyrica Hughes back in the game, and she is in double digits again. 5th time to start her freshman season. Now with 11. Dewberry floating it up, hauled out of there by Nora Miller. Miller quickly up, and now an oop for Christian, who can't complete. Great pass there by Hughes. As it's Midway tripling up the Thunderhawks thus far, 36-12. Inside for McIntyre. She tries to get rid of it. Now taken away by Hughes. Kicks it in the corner. Three-pointer here. Miller, no good. And McIntyre clears it. Mansour picks up her dribble. Now McMonagle with it. Gets it in the corner. Dewberry. And she will attack the trees. Can't get it to fall as Chesser comes away with the rebound. Taps it out for Medley. Medley back to Chesser. Chesser with the and one. Way to run the floor there by J.C. Chesser. And she's got a chance at the free throw line now for her 5th point of the ball game. With that, we are going to get a full timeout called with 4:32 left here in this first half. Midway 38, Miami-Middletown 12. And J.C. Chesser with a free throw. When we get back from this break, stick with us. I'll catch my breath here. We'll come back and we'll continue this first half of play right here from Midway. And Eagles coming back on the floor as they have been in complete control here of this first half. 38-12, they lead over Miami University Middletown, a regional campus of Miami University up in Ohio. Justin Kalen back here with you inside the McManus Student Center, Marshall Gymnasium, as Chesser trying to complete her three-point play and does. She's now got 5 points here in this first half. We've got 4.5 minutes to play, and now a steal on the inbounds and a foul. as Nora Miller drove to the bucket, so she'll have a couple free throws upcoming. Joby Studebaker back in the game for the Thunderhawks. Akira Muhammad will head to the sideline. If you joined us late, only 7 players rostered for the Thunderhawks, and one of them getting sick very early in this game. She has not come back in. That's Sam Bean, the younger sister of head coach Jalen Bean Haseker. So down to 6 players potentially for the rest of this game, as another turnover on the inbound. And now a foul here, as it's going to be Lyrica Hughes heading to the line. Hughes already with 11 points here in this first half. And a chance to tie or eclipse the production the Thunderhawks have put out thus far. And there's the tie. More chance here. And she'll convert on that one as well. So Lyrica Hughes now 13. Miami University-Middletown 12. As it's 43-12 overall. Midway in complete control is down now to McIntyre, who gets it up and in. Her second bucket of the contest. She's now got 4. And Chesser going to get called for the double dribble. Or carry, rather. As Studebaker fouled as she tried to get that pass off for Mansour. Ball inbounded for Studebaker. 5'9" junior. Slides it over to Dewberry, who goes in for McMonagle. Good defense there by Chesser. And trying to save it in bounds was Myra Christian, but she stepped on the end line. Or did they get a foul? I got a foul there. Nope. Dewberry gets it in for McIntyre. Studebaker out to Mansour. She'll step in and pull up. A little long that time as Miller comes away with the rebound. Up for Chesser. Another great job running the floor. Tried to get that pass into the corner. And thrown away as she was looking for Paige Medley, but great job defensively reading that pass. As now Mansour on the 3. Little long, but McIntyre on the rebound. And she'll be called for the walk as she was trying to clear some space. Now here is Jermira Christian with it. She'll utilize that speed and get inside. Now Miller driving in, floats it up, and somehow gets that one to fall. Nora Miller with her 4th point here in this one. Now Dewberry loses it as she comes across the timeline, but we're going to get a foul called. 2:47 left here in this first half. All Midway so far. As one of the Thunderhawk players remaining down on the floor. That's Dewberry, and now she'll get up. And that is the last thing they can afford, is to have another player go down. Taryn Dewberry did miss their last game as they took on Campbellsville Harrodsburg, their only win of the season, and now going to walk off under her own power. Good to see there. Teams now coming back out onto the floor. Jasmine Chambers, another one of the returning players for Midway, out on the floor. Cassidy Doherty back out there as well, as is the freshman, 5'10" out of Irvine, Kentucky, Sarah Baker, wearing zeros. As the free throw here by Muhammad comes up a little short. Dewberry was the player fouled, but with her being injured, she's over there sitting on the sideline. So Muhammad, not as good of a free throw shooter, will take them and misses them both, but the Thunderhawks grab the offensive rebound. Ella Webster now in the game also for Midway. Her first action of the ball game as Doherty comes away with the rebound. Up now for Arlinghouse. She'll kick it to her right. Chambers driving in. Shot no good, but grabs the offensive rebound. Shot misses, and the Thunderhawks come away with it. 45-14. 2 minutes to play here in this first half. Top McIntyre. Off for Mansour. Now out for Muhammad. Her three long. Rebounded by Baker. Quickly up Webster. Arlinghouse. Her three. And that's going to miss everything. Sarah Baker leading the team with 6 blocks thus far through their 4 games. The freshman, number 0. As we've got just over a minute to play here in this first half. McIntyre driving down low. Her shot no good, but grabs her own offensive rebound, sticks it back up and in. McIntyre now with 6. Still well below her season average of 19. As Arlinghouse putting on the move, stops in the lane, spins back to the middle, and gets the 2 to fall. Here's Mansour with it. She'll drive in, take some contact. Couple free throws upcoming for her now, as that's the 6th foul here in this quarter by Midway. Cassidy Doherty, the guilty party, her 2nd foul of the ball game as the first Mansour field goal up and in. More try here. And that one's going to miss everything and land out of bounds. So Mansour is able to snag her first point of the game. Just goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and we're going to get a timeout here with 33 seconds left in the half. This will be a 30-second timeout. Midway 47. Miami University, Middletown 17, a nice 30-point cushion for the Eagles as we approach the halftime break. Justin Kalen on the call for you this evening inside the McManus Student Center, Marshall Gymnasium. on the beautiful campus of Midway University. Glad basketball season is back. As quickly the Eagles making their way back out on the floor. Sarah Baker inbounding it to Aaliyah Arlinghouse. Aaliyah brings it over the timeline. Down to 20 left in the half. Arlinghouse being guarded by Mansour. Gets a good screen there by Baker. Now slides it to her right. Chambers drops it down low for Baker. Baker down to 4 on the shot clock. Arlinghouse, Webster, she'll fire up a 3. Short, now down to 1 second left in the half. And they will not get off a shot, so that will bring us to our halftime break. Midway 47, Miami-Middletown 17. Complete domination for the Eagles in that first half of play. And we'll see how they fare in the second half. See if they can continue to come out and assert their dominance. We'll step aside for the halftime break here. About a 13-14 minute break. Come back. We'll bring you some first half statistics as well as the start of the second half of play. Stick with us. You're watching women's basketball right here from Midway. Just about set for second half action. Midway 47, Miami University Middletown 17 here at the halftime break. Hello and welcome back into the McManus Student Center, Marshall Gymnasium, the site of tonight's women's basketball contest. Justin Kalen on the call for you, and it was a dominant half for the Midway Eagles, as you'd expect, as they're taking on a team with 7 rostered players, one of them getting sick in that first half, so she sat out the majority of the half, and she's actually not back out on the bench, so it looks like they're going to have to go the rest of this game just 6 deep, which is not easy, as it's going to be Akira Muhammad, Amani Mansour, Goddess McIntyre, Carly McMonigal, and Jovi Studebaker starting out this second half. Taryn Dewberry also got banged up at the end of that first half. She starts out on the bench for Midway. Looks like they're going to go with the starters: Alyrica Hughes, Myra Christian, Cassidy Doherty, J.C. Chesser, and I believe that is Trinity Johnson, and it is. Put her hair up during the halftime, had it down in that first half, so had to do a little double take there. It was Alyrica Hughes leading the way for all scorers in that first half, 13 points. 8 points for Myra Christian, 5 points for J.C. Chesser and Atlantis White, 4 points for Aaliyah Arlinghouse, 3 points for Lauren Walton, 3 points also for Cassidy Doherty, and 2 points for Taryn Morris. As it'll be Thunderhawk ball to start this second half. They were led by Taryn Dewberry in that first half with 7 points, 6 points for Goddess McIntyre, 3 for Sam Bean, and 1 for Amani Mansour. As Midway took a 30-point lead to the break. Now McMonigal with a good look to start the second half. Rebounded by Doherty. Now Hughes leaves it off for Christian, drops it down low, Chesser. Back to Christian, she'll fire it, and her shot comes up short. 50% shooting for Midway in that first half, 30% from deep, 85% from the free throw stripe. Much lower for Miami University Middletown, just 20% from the field, 14% from deep, and 40% from the line. And 4 of 10. As here is McMonigal dropping it down low for McIntyre, who draws the foul. 24 rebounds in the first half for Midway, 20 of them for Miami University Middletown. 4 steals for the Thunderhawks, 10 for the Eagles. Thunderhawks 15 turnovers in that first half as well, as McIntyre misses the first free throw. McIntyre's second attempt, and that's going to miss as well, as Johnson clears the rebound, and last touched out of bounds by McIntyre. As Trinity Johnson will get set to throw it in. As Christian now across the timeline. On top for Johnson. Johnson to Alyrica Hughes. She gets a screen from Chesser. Now back to Christian, who slices and dices but gets it taken away. Nearly 2 minutes into this third quarter, still scoreless. Studebaker now with it for the Thunderhawks. Studebaker in for McIntyre. Back out on top now, Muhammad. Mansour with McMonigal. Here comes Hughes with it, and she'll get the first bucket of this second half with her 15th point of the game. And Alyrka Hughes keeps her hot start to the season rolling. Mansour loses it. Johnson quickly up for Christian, who will lay it up and in. Myra now with 10. 51-17. Dominant display here tonight for Midway. Sam Bean actually now back out on the Thunderhawks bench, but she's in street clothes. And as Muhammad was trapped, so Chasiker going to call a timeout. With her team trailing by 34, 7:16 remaining here in this third quarter of play. Both teams will head over to their sidelines. Timeout as the Thunderhawks set to inbounds here, and they will for Dewberry, who's back in the game. She replaces Mansour. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. Thunderhawks calling the timeout, but not aware of how much time was left on the clock when they came back out on the floor. Back to Midway it goes. The Eagles led 29-6 after one quarter, before ultimately getting up 47-17 at half as J.C. Chesser on the finish down low. She's now got 7. Dewberry being guarded by Hughes, who pokes it loose. Now Hughes is going to come up with a steal. She'll slow it down. Christian back out to Hughes. Back to Christian. Mid-range 2, misses. And McIntyre comes away with the rebound. Dewberry, that's an impressive finish, as she's now got 9. Dewberry's 2 misses. Hughes battling for the rebound. They're going to say last touch by Studebaker. Johnson inbounds for Hughes. Hughes loses it out of bounds, but they're going to say Studebaker touched it last. As Christian now set to inbound. Looks like we've got a wet spot on the floor, needs to be taken care of prior to that. Christian in for Doherty, thought about the 3, instead going to leave it back out for Christian now. Johnson, she'll fire the 3, and nothing but net. First points of the game for Trinity Johnson, the junior out of Columbus, Ohio, and it's now 58-19. Midway with an 11-2 advantage here in this third quarter thus far. As we're halfway through the quarter, Studebaker going to get whistled for the travel. Host of substitutions here for Midway. As As Atlantis White coming back out onto the floor, as is Kiera Couch. Looks like Taryn Morris set to check in as well, but first we're going to get a timeout. This will be a full timeout, so we'll get you the rest of those Midway players that are coming on the floor after the timeout. But all in all, a great game thus far for Midway as they lead by 39 at 58-19. A dominant display here in this one, which is exactly what we expected coming in. But just nice to see this Midway team come in and continue their dominance here at home. Mentioned in our pregame, winning games at home by an average of 29 points a game this season. So looking to up that average here in this one tonight. As we've got 4:58 left here in this third quarter. The Eagles have hit the century mark once this season. Little below century mark pace, but could get there. And now coming out of the timeout, it's going to be Maddie Nipper, Atlantis White, Kiera Couch, Taryn Morris, and Aaliyah Arlinghouse, the 5 Eagles out on the floor in yellow. Top for Couch, gets it to Arlinghouse. Now to Nipper, the freshman. She'll drive baseline, up and under, and good finish there for Maddie Nipper, who's got her first points of the ball game. Dewberry floats one up. Rebounded by Taryn Morris. Morris pushing the pace up for Nipper. Nipper out. Arlinghouse, her 3, short. Rebounded by Muhammad. Low, McMonigal working on Morris. Good spin move there by McMonigal, but the shot won't fall. But she does get fouled by Morris, so a pair of free throws upcoming. Three fouls now on Midway here in this third quarter. None for the Thunderhawks, who are yet to crack 20, as McMonigal misses the first free throw. And she can't get either to go as Atlantis White comes down with the rebound. Now White will try the 3, wide open, but a little long. Here comes Mansour, but Atlantis White going to take it away. And she will finish this one inside. Atlantis White with her first points of the second half. She's now got 7 in the ball game. McMonigal again drops it out for Studebaker. She'll drive in, and White comes away with another steal. And once again, another run out as she'll finish once again. Now 9 points for Atlantis White. 64-19. McIntyre tried to go inside, loses it. But able to keep possession alive out for Studebaker. Now Dewberry driving in, floats it up, and gets it to fall. Taryn Dewberry now the first Thunderhawk in double figures with 11. Morris driving inside. Great Euro step. She went right through defenders there, but not able to finish. Minutes left here in this third quarter. Dewberry aggressively driving on Nipper, who's whistled for the foul. Just the fourth of the third quarter, however, so no free throws quite yet. First foul call against Nipper. Inside, Studebaker with an easy finish. Her first points of the game. And Kira Couch with her first points of the game. (66-23) as we're down to 90 seconds left in quarter three. Another turnover by the Thunderhawks. Up for Morris with the athletic finish. Kind of spinning at the rim there. Gets it to fall and has a free throw. Try to convert on the and one play. With that bucket, Taryn Morris 4 points here tonight. And she'll get it. Give her 5 and give Midway a 46-point lead as Atlantis White another steal. This time puts the body into a defender and gets the finish anyways. Now 11 for Atlantis White as she's in double figures. Ansor double teamed. Off for Muhammad. Dewberry will have a wide open look at 3 and gets the roll. Now they're going to give her a 2 there. Instead of the 3, as a 2 the other way by Nipper. Gives her 4 as we're down to 40 seconds left here in this third quarter. Eagles by 48. Dewberry trying to change that here as she drives inside, loses it, but Muhammad picks it up and lays it in. That's her first bucket of the game. Muhammad putting up less than 1 point a game. So nearly doubling her season average on that bucket as Nipper down to 5 seconds. Leaves it off. Atlantis White wanted the 3, but it's blocked. Now up for Dewberry. Her shot not going to go in time. She does, well, they're going to give her credit for it. Wow, it was well after the buzzer, after that light went off, but potentially just feeling a little bad for the Thunderhawks. So they're going to give Taryn Dewberry that 3 to end the third quarter, and Midway will take a 73-30 lead into quarter number 4. We'll have that for you on the other side. Stick with us right here from Midway. fourth and final quarter set to get underway here from Midway University inside the McManus Student Center Marshall Gymnasium, the site of tonight's women's basketball contest. And through three quarters, it has been all Midway thus far. They lead 73-30 as we're set to begin this final frame, and a complete domination tonight for the Eagles, as they're going to bring out Lauren Walton, Paige Medley, Nora Miller, Sarah Baker, and Annabelle Babb to begin this fourth quarter of play. Baker, Babb, Medley, and Miller, all freshmen. Walton, the lone non-freshman out there, as she is a junior. As Dewberry, who hit the three at the end of the third quarter, controversial three at the end of the third quarter. Looked like it was well after the light came on the backboard, but they give her credit for anyways. As she's got 16 points now on the night. Came in averaging 17 and a half, so well on her season average pace. As Walton, a little bit of trouble, gets it off for Medley. Medley drives in, her shot up off the backboard, no good, but Walton, the tough offensive rebound, and draws the foul. Walton to inbound, gets it in for Baker, who gets it back to Walton. Now back with Baker. As she'll float it up, leaves it short. Here is Studebaker spinning inside, loses it, but Dewberry right there to pick it up. Ball poked loose by Babb. Now Dewberry's shot a little wild, goes off to the left-hand side, misses everything. Dewberry throws her hands up, thinks she wanted a foul there. Didn't see too much there. Walton will bring it across the timeline. Foul called there by the Thunderhawks. As Goddess McIntyre checking back in, Amani Mansour coming out. Walton gets a screen from Babb, tries to get it into Babb and throws it away. As Dewberry with it now, comes across the timeline. McMonigal leaves it out for Muhammad, gets it right back to McMonigal, now down low for Studebaker, threads the needle to McMonigal, not sure how she got that pass through, but did. And McMonigal draws the foul, so a couple free throws upcoming. She did miss two near the end of that third quarter. And she can't get that one to fall. But she does get the second one. So first point of the game for Carly McMonigal. The senior out of Madison. As here is Babb, good aggressive drive. Can't make it fall though as McMonigal clears the rebound. Now Dewberry on top the key with it. Dewberry inside, and she's going to draw the foul. That's going to be Sarah Baker, the guilty party. Dewberry's free throw up and in. And she'll go 1 of 2 here as Baker clears the rebound. Dewberry now with 10 points here in this second half. 73-32. Nora Miller putting on the moves, but she loses it in her pursuit to the bucket. As now Dewberry the other way, she loses it, but recovers. On top for McIntyre, her three no good. As Lauren Walton in possession with it now. Down to 7 minutes left in this ballgame. .632. Foul call. Midway fans don't agree with it. McIntyre misses. Miller on the rebound, gets it up now for Babb. Uses her speed but can't get the shot to fall. Under 6 to play here in this ballgame, 76-34, as Babb comes away with a steal, and this time she will finish. First points of the ballgame for the freshman Annabelle Babb. Eagles on top by 44. So they had the takeaway there, but McIntyre keeps possession alive for the Thunderhawks, and now Muhammad driving in gets another bucket to fall. Mentioned she came in averaging less than a point a game, so ballooning her stats for the season as Miller's three up and no good. Walton battling for that rebound, but wisely lets go as it would have been called over the back had she continued to try to battle for it. It's now Studebaker for McMonigal. She leaves it off now for Mansour. Back to Studebaker, the deep two. And rebounded by Nora Miller. Miller misses. Mansour driving in. Her shot a little erratic as Baker comes away with it. Up for Babb in the corner now. Medley. And no good as it goes off the top of the backboard. So out of bounds it'll go, but good find by Babb. Into the hands of Medley. Medley just couldn't quite convert, and with that, we're going to get a timeout taken with 3:52 left in this ball game. Midway 78, Miami University of Middletown 36, as it's been all Eagles so far. In this one, we'll step aside for a break as well, come back on the other side, and we'll bring you the conclusion. See if the Eagles can close it out. Actually, I know they're going to close it out just by a matter of how much. So stick with us, find that out right here from Midway. Less than 4 to play here in this ball game. All Eagles thus far, 78-36 they lead over the Miami University Middletown Thunderhawks, who came into this game with a roster of just 7 players, one of them getting sick as this game started, so they played the majority of the contest with just 6 players. That is a tough, tough thing to do, as I'm sure they are exhausted out there, but McIntyre not showing it as she gets the 2 to fall. Now back to within 40 at 78-38. Chambers thought about the corner 3. Instead gives it up. Now here's Nora Miller driving inside. Takes some contact. And a couple free throws upcoming for her. Couple free throws upcoming now for Miller. One of the many freshman additions to this Midway team this season. And Miller goes 1 of 2. Three minutes to play here in this contest. As Dewberry's 3 gonna fall short, misses everything. Now we're under 3 to play. Near steal there by the Thunderhawks. Now they do steal it as Dewberry takes it away, but she has it poked loose, but fortunately they keep possession. Inbound for Mansour. Over now back to Dewberry. McIntyre. To a cutting McMonigal who can't hit. One of the better looks she's had all night. That's Coach Gorby calling out the play call. Miller going to drive inside, take some more contact. And she has really been aggressive all evening long when she's been in the game. She'll have 2 more free throws here. First one a little bit long. Second is as well. Paige Medley at the scorer's table, set the check back in as Muhammad's 3 short. And Miller clearing it. She'll leave it off now. Nipper's 3 no good, and she's fouled. Three free throws upcoming for Nipper. As we've got under 2 to play here in this one, McIntyre. It seemed like Nipper flopped on that one. 4th foul for Muhammad, by the way. The fouls have stacked up here in this second half. As Nipper's first free throw up and in. Second is as well. They started him on the ball, but she should get 3 free throws here. Well, they're only going to give her 2. Unsure what that's all about. She was fouled on the 3-point shot, but only granted 2 free throws. One of the officials making some sort of motion. I guess with the scoreline the way it is, it doesn't really matter, as it's 81-38, but potentially taking points away there from Maddie Nipper, who's now up to 6 in the game. Studebaker back in the game will replace Taryn Dewberry, who takes yet another hard fall. Over 90 seconds left. Midway gonna move up to back over 500 at 3-2 following this win. Studebaker inside, draws the foul. Upcoming schedule for Midway looks like this, as they will be at Cumberland's on Saturday. And then at Cincinnati Clermont on Tuesday. The team they already took care of in that Cincinnati Clermont team, 100-69. So likely going to be a win there. Cumberland's a very winnable game as well. Then they'll take on Defiance, school out of Ohio, on November 30th. They'll play Georgetown, and that is when conference play will get fired up. First conference game of the season will be against Rio Grande on December 11th. As driving in, another foul called here, as Paige Medley was driving with it. Couple upcoming now for the freshman Paige Medley. First one up and in. Second is as well. First 2 points of the game for Medley. There's only 3 Midway players that have not scored in this game. Make that 4. As McIntyre gets fouled down low. Sarah Baker, Jenna Phelps, Jasmine Chambers, and Ella Webster, the only Eagles who have not scored here in this one. McIntyre's first up and in. And goes 1 of 2, but McMonagle on the rebound gets it back to McIntyre, who finds herself wide open. She is in double digits tonight. 83-43, Midway by 40, as we've got 40 seconds left. Three-pointer here, well long. Chambers looking for the stick back, can't get it to go. Now a foul down low as Jenna Phelps comes away with the offensive rebound. And she'll get a pair at the free throw line. It's been very sloppy the last 2 or 3 minutes, as Phelps can't get the first one to fall. But she does connect on the second one, so she'll join her teammates in the scoring column. Down to 20 seconds left now as the Midway bench starting to clap. And we're going to get a foul called here against Ella Webster. Aggressively guarding out beyond the perimeter. More free throws upcoming. I think we've eclipsed the free throw total for the game prior to this fourth quarter here in this last couple of minutes, as Dewberry's free throw off the rim. And she'll get the second one to fall. Very good game for Dewberry as we're down to 10 seconds left here in this one. Now down to 5, and Midway is going to get their third win of the season. There is the final buzzer. 84-44, the final score here in this one, as they completely dominate this Miami-Middletown team, much like you'd expect them to do. And it was an all-around great performance by the Eagles. All but 3 players found their names in the score sheet at the end of the night. And a great performance all around. A good performance, Myra Christian. Atlantis White played well. Lyrica Hughes also very big in the action here in this one. And an all-around team win for your Midway Eagles. They will be back here inside Marshall Gymnasium. By the way, that is win number 6 in a row here inside Marshall Gymnasium, dating back to last season. Their next time they are right here at home is back on December 4th, when they will welcome in Georgetown for a 5:30 tip-off. Make sure to join us for that one. I'll be right back here on the call. And then a week following that Georgetown game, they will welcome in Rio Grande for the conference opener. So we'll bring you all those contests. Looking forward to another exciting season here at Midway. Men's and women's teams both expecting to have better seasons this year. Want to shout out and thank Clay Cunningham getting me all the information I needed tonight. Dylan Brown as well for having me out, as well as everybody involved in the broadcast, keeping it up and running and making sure that score ticker is updated for you as well. That's going to wrap it up here from Midway University. This is Justin Kalen saying so long and good night. You've been watching Midway Women's Basketball here from Marshall Gymnasium.